Welcome back. I'm Brad Radice, and it's time for our Bulldog Conversation. I'm joined by Dr. Denise Gregory, the Director of Diversity and Intercultural Initiatives here at Samford University. And Denise, year long, you have an amazing schedule of events that deal just with that. And let's look back, starting in the fall, of what we've done so far and highlighting many different cultures.
Absolutely. This past year, last semester, we started out in the month of September and October celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. And one of the highlights of that event was the Lunch and Learn with Lila Quintero Weaver. She's a native of Argentina that moved to Selma, Alabama at an early age, around the age of 9 or 10 years old. And she chronicles her story in a book that she's written called Dark Room, and it's a memoir that she wrote there. And then we moved to the month of November, and we celebrated Native American Heritage Month. And we were so grateful to have Carolyn White visit with us, and she's an elder of the Porch Creek Indians, and she shared with us the history of the Porch Creek Indians and how they've adapted now and how they live now in Atmore, Alabama. And so those were some of the highlights of some of the diversity events that we celebrated last semester. This semester, we're getting ready for several exciting events that are coming up. We're getting ready for Black History Month. Celebrating that in February. We have a lineup of events that we have scheduled, including the Sozo African Children's Choir, which will be on February 11th at 10 a.m. here on campus. We're also excited about a trip to Atlanta, Georgia. February the 21st, we will actually visit the church where Dr. Martin Luther King attended when he was a pastor.
Wow.
And we'll visit their current church, which is Ebenezer Baptist Church, and also visit some of the sites there in Atlanta. So looking forward to some of those events. And there are other things that are planned. We hope to be able to get those events out about Black History Month.
Now, the guests that you mentioned, I went to both those events, and just talk about amazing stories that these individuals share with not only our faculty, our staff, but our students. What a great experience for them to hear these tales firsthand.
Absolutely. In Mrs. Weaver's talk with the Dark Room, she chronicles the events of her life of moving from Argentina to Marion, Alabama during the time of the civil rights struggle. And she talks about different things that she remembers and being having a different viewpoint of not being black or white, but being, as she said, different from everyone, but not on either side of maybe the struggle that was going on. And for students to hear her tell and chronicle her events of what happens was so enlightening for our students just to hear that. And it also was a learning experience for others, because there are things that we kind of think may have happened, and then we recognize that there are some other things that also went along during that time also as well. So her story is one of the more interesting ones that I just thought was just absolutely phenomenal to hear.
You mentioned Black History Month that's coming up this February. In the past, the events you've had have been packed out and great student support. How happy are you that everybody gets on board and really cherishes this month as something that's special to the university?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so excited that our students are excited to hear and learn about different events from different cultures and different backgrounds. And I think it's important because it also gives the student the opportunity, and not just the students, but our faculty and staff, the opportunity of maybe understanding where people may come from in terms of how they react to certain situations and understand why they do different things, and providing a more culturally diverse environment for them to think about how decisions are made each day.
Right. Well, it's an exciting time of year, and thank you so much for planning it. I know you and your crew put a lot of work into it. So, folks, if you're interested in coming to some of the events, I know some will be open to the public, check samford.edu for a full list. All right, more action coming up right after this.